Well, heck. Don't know where to go from here.
Well, then you were at the distillery for a while, weren't you?
Oh, boy. I don't know what the first place we hit was, but we went to the old distillery, Bushnell. And that's where the guys got into the cases of whiskey that were storage down yonder somewhere. And
You almost got Captain Webb, Lieutenant Webb got in trouble for.
was that?
He's the one that said these men wouldn't do a thing like that.
Yeah.
Found out later they'd been in.
I wasn't part of that little event. Oh, gosh. I remember Denny Sullivan came in drunk one night. Well, I don't know how drunk Kenny was. He was a little bit drunk. Kenny Sessions. Wait a minute. Dennis Sullivan.
Yeah.
Big, nice, easygoing guy. And Kenny Sessions, our full-blooded Indian guy who was tough as the dickens, pulled on the ape act. Denny wanted to fight him. And we were scared to death, and Kenny would kill him because, gosh, Denny was drunk too. And Kenny was smart enough to just play with Denny. That was upstairs over the. They must have cleared out the distilling equipment and let us bunk in that. Oh, gee. Then there was Giant's Causeway.
Yeah.
And
tour. You ended up down at the Skillet and Camp Killades.
You know, I don't know which camp was which. Where we took over the Navy.
That was at Killades.
That was Killades, on the shores of Loch Earn or something like that.
Yeah.
Pretty spot, nice spot. That
Beautiful place.
sort of almost a castle. There, a real palace.
Yeah, it was a
People
castle.
had
Castle.
Was it a castle? Old castle?
I can't remember the name of it. It was a castle
Yeah.
right there.
I remember it was so very well doctored. The vegetation, the trees were all trimmed and nice. Very, very pretty. I remember we had our canteens one night. We managed to get them full of Navy grape juice, literal grape juice, concrete grape juice. We broke into one of the warehouses where the Navy was going to come and live like kings, darn them. And I happened to be a grape juice fiend, so I filled my canteen a couple times, I think.
They're flying those
PBYs.
PBYs out of there.
Yeah.
The Sunderlands. It's British base. They're flying Sunderlands and PBYs and Sunderlands too. The great big one is the Sunderlands.
Hey, don't minimize the PBY. Well, I saw my first one down at Florida somewhere. I was utterly amazed. The wingspan on those is terrific. They're big devils.
Sunderland's a huge body to them. Yeah, anyway, they're flying. They was right. That base was right there.
Yeah. That's where we sort of used the flamethrowers one time.
Did you?
Went over on a little island, and I had lost the chance to be battalion chemical warfare to Andy Geiger. He knew the difference between Boyle's Law and Charles' Law, and I didn't. I got them mixed up. And that was the test. I don't know what the captain was. Seems like it was Watkins. It could have been any of them. Anyhow, he picked Andy. So Andy got into headquarters company, and I stayed with A company. Until we tried to use the flamethrowers at Casino, and they didn't work. He had half a chance to mix the darn stuff, probably one time in his life, and they didn't come out right, and they were almost ineffective. And poor Andy got, I think, sent to the infantry. I'm not sure. I got his job. Then I got my stripes, my buck sergeant stripes. Otherwise, I was known as a perpetual corporal, I think.
This was we went after Ireland. Then you went in that convoy to the Christmas load out of Liverpool Harbor on Christmas.
Yeah. I don't remember how we got there anymore, but we got across. We didn't take the Giant's Causeway, I know, but.
Well, it was a side trip.
That was an experience too. But Johnny Boyd and I had probably quite a nice time there. We met a couple of young Irish school teachers, and went to their home and drank wine with them. They treated us real nice. It was a pleasant experience. Johnny and I were good guys, so don't get any wild ideas.
Okay.
But Liverpool. This time it was the Orontes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was.
And they loaded us up Christmas Day.
Ship for the.
Or the day before.
It was on the India transport.
It had been to India. It was loaded up with, among other things, chocolate bars, which we survived on, I should say. The guys were all disappointed because many of them had taken their rations and given them English families where they were going to eat Christmas dinner. But we loaded up, I guess, the day before, and Christmas morning, noontime, hit the seas. This was a calm ride, but it was in hammocks, and it was British rations, again. We'd been on them, of course. And I remember going to the canteen, I guess they called them, buying chocolate. And I remember landing Iran. The old Aunties was not just exactly under control, apparently. It came into the dock just a little too sideways, a little too hard. And the big old wooden barges about 30 foot across, just crushed under the weight of that ship.
I didn't see that. I wasn't up on that.
Anyhow, we got ashore. Trucks picked us up and went down through the groves. They had grapefruit and oranges there that were growing like, oh my. And to Tlemcen, where we could buy, a nickel would buy a lot. A dime wouldn't buy much. A nickel would buy quite a bit. We get a number of grapefruit for a nickel. Anyhow, I could go into some bad vibes on the natives there, the Arab population. Can you cut something out if you want to?
Well, don't worry about it.
We were clearly under the impression that they knew, the Arab knew that his way to heaven was to kill one of us. That was we'd been told, and we bought the idea. And I now realize that it's probably totally true. There were 27 virgins were waiting for him if they do one of us in. And there was an instance there at Tlemcen where a guy was to meet a woman, and he was met by somebody else, and he got some pretty horrible treatment. Beyond.
May have deserved it, but who knows?
Well, he didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
They neutralized him, sewed his mouth shut, and threw him over a wall, as I understand it. I may be reporting rumors. I have no idea. Then the night...
We headed off east.
Yeah, the night runs along a wild road to Tunisia. We used to see a C-47 occasionally going overhead, never anything else. But we were going by darkness, mostly. Remember getting out of the truck one night? I don't know whether it was I got out of it or whether it was whoever was riding the cab. But there was no shoulder there. He didn't fall down the curb, but he blamed near did because there was nothing there. And
we daytimes, I think at first we went night travel. The last 2 days out, I think we were
yeah,
night.
I reckon that's true. I forget how the account read in the thick item that I have. It sounded like we might have gone nighttime all the time. Anyhow, we got there. I don't really remember much, except we got parked one time right next to a field of grapes. Big, beautiful grape vineyard.
Yeah.
Boy, that was going to be great because there was going to be lots of Concord grapes over there. My foot. Bitter, sour, nasty wine grapes.
Yeah.
Very disappointed, very disappointed. I don't know. I remember 609.
When we were down there when the squad blew up, what were you doing when they lost that squad?
I still have a concern about that. It haunts me occasionally. It was Kasserine. They broke through Kasserine. And we'd been made infantry. And we were up there in reserve waiting for them. And we heard that battle come up the valley out there until it got right straight down from us, essentially, and stopped there. I think that's probably where our major minefields were, in fact.
Yeah, Hike B Company mined that pass.
Well, these were English mines. Did you lay English mines?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you did?
You did too, didn't you?
No.
How'd you get out of that deep?
Well, I don't know. I remember being up on the hill with old Claire Brish in the pup tent and all our extra ammunition in hand and kind of sweating the battle. It was coming up, you know. I wouldn't say we were praying, but probably were, in effect. Maybe we were. Anyhow, it stopped there. And a few days later, we got the job of lifting those mines, the English mines, loading the truck, and then Satter's group got them on the other end of the run, the truck on the left flank, and we're laying them up there.